Hey guys, Tank here. We are live. Sorry, I'm a little late and nobody has joined in. So I'm still waiting for some people to join in. Hopefully I gave the right link to actually join in. Oh, I think I did not. I think I did not. That's not good. I gave the old link. Oh, man. I'm going to send an invite again to everybody. Sorry about that. No, it should have worked. Nope, it's the different link. And the new link is sent. Sorry about that, guys. No. Okay. We'll get it right one of these days. So Thursday night, we're all alone. Just you and me and I, you and I, you and me. What's the proper English? You and I or you and me? I am not sure. So let me get the chat and also I'm scrambling and doing thing. Hey, Bushman, how are you doing? You've been out with Lyle lately, I see. I saw him on a couple of videos. He's all by himself. I guess you've been working hard. This Sunday, I am doing a urban crawl, which means we're going to take our RC on-road cars or truck or crawlers or whatever and go to the Tulip Festival downtown Ottawa. So it should be interesting and fun. Today, I want to talk about transmitter, RC transmitter. What do you use and why do you use them?
What's up, Tank?
Hey, yeah, so today I want to talk about RC transmitters, what you guys use and why.
All right.
I couldn't get in. It kept connecting forever.
Yeah, the first link I sent was the wrong link. The second link is the good link.
All right. It just was very frustrating and upsetting, like everything else in my life right at this moment.
Oh, poor you. I hear you in pain.
Yes, I'm still in pain, but it's gotten a little better.
Did you go to the hospital?
No, but I did have some ice, those packets you squeeze and they get cold.
Okay.
I used those. See, I don't have them here. And then I refroze them and used them again, even though they say it's a one-time use only thing. But there's water in there, so I decided to refreeze it.
Sure.
How'd the baseball game go?
We won again. We're undefeated so far. 3 games, 3 wins.
Awesome.
All pretty much by double digits also for the game. So that's pretty good.
Hey, Josh, I just sent you Tamaya's website page with all the discontinued items.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping you'll look through that because it's very interesting, like a TRF version of an MO3, which no one's ever talked about, called the RS, an MO3 RS.
MO3. I know that model number.
Yeah. Well, they had a TRF version of it called the TRF MO3 RS. I'd like to see someone. No one's ever talked about it ever since I've gotten back into the hobby. I'm surprised someone hasn't tried to get it out there in eBay or something to build one, because I'm sure there's some that can be bought.
Maybe.
Oh, if they're finding AYKs and PBs and all these other old car companies that aren't around anymore. Why not? They're getting items like that and old hobby grade nickel cars, you know, the 10th scale, like the Dandy Dash.
Hi, everybody in the chat.
Hello.
We have
Keith.
Bushman, Radio's Active Scale RC, JD's RC, Richard O'Neill is there. Bushman is also there. I think I said his name already. Jem's Hobby, which is in here with us, is in the chat also. And Fred Crawlers are us RC. I think Fred renamed his channel a while ago because I don't think it was that long in the past. Gilmore RC, how are you doing? And Bruno BRC is in the chat. So my crawl event place is closed, and I don't know for how long because they're doing cutting down trees. And I thought they were going to do selective cutting, but they've been cutting a lot of trees. Like everything is gone.
Oh.
Where I used to have my tent or the setup or the kind of the pit area, it's bad. Good thing we took all the bridges and everything apart. So I have no idea when we're going to get the park back up, but we will rebuild.
And they will come.
Yeah, we'll rebuild and they will come. That's correct. But till then, we're going to do other places like in Gatineau, in the Gatineau parks. There's a couple places where I've been in the past, and they have like waterfalls, and it's a hiking trail that actually goes up a mountain. Those are always fun. So I'll do a crawling event there that it's getting to the top of the hill, which is challenging with the trucks. So it's going to be fun. It's always fun every time we do it.
So yeah, I feel bad that you're going to have to rebuild, but it's going to take a long time. You're going to have a late season.
Doubtful I'll do another event there this year just because of time issues probably. And by the time they finish cleaning, I have to go there and clean up all the branches that are on the ground. And I don't know how much help I'm going to get. Some guys have been really helpful. But if the guys want to have events there, they'll have no choice of coming and help me. But we'll see. I can get my son, I can get a couple people to actually come, but we need volunteers. Any group of people or any group works with volunteer, and if you don't get volunteers, then you're kind of screwed, and we'll see.
So you saying you're going to have an event at the place with the waterfalls?
Yeah, so it's not really an event. It's just I'm just going to call everybody come and take a hike with us. In other words, with the RCs. So it's just a get together. So there is no prizes. There is no trophies for coming first, second, or third. It's just let's have fun. We're probably going to have a lot more of those this year because the sim is closed. But there's another place called Fraggle Rock, which he's not going to have an event, but he's probably going to have it open. I could do some of my events there. I just got to call the owner there and see what kind of deal we can work out. So we'll see.
Gabriel's here.
Hey, RC Basher boy, how you doing?
Radio link for the win, Gabriel. And even the new Dumbos are getting nice and complicated, like the radio links.
Are they though? From Dumbo?
Yeah. Yeah, they're making ones with screens. I swear I saw them at one of the shows.
Yeah, I'll look it up real quick.
The Dumbos have a really good range, but I don't know how rugged they are.
Well, actually, Radio Link is Dumbo is a Radio Link subsidy.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They have the same range abilities, but one is just a cheaper version of the other.
Do you have a Dumbo? One,
I
Brad?
had one. I sold one to my friend when he got back in the hobby
Two.
because Frank got me that 10, the whole 10 cars, and I decided to deal with that. Just like I have one that holds 30 cars.
I got two.
You have two of the Dumbos, Keith?
Not the
I got
Dumbos.
three.
He's got a radio link.
Radio.
No, Frank, I got three Dumbos. I got
Oh,
one.
you
for
do
the-
have 3 Dumbos? Okay.
Yeah, I got one for the bone beetle, one for the shit kicker, and I just bought one for the tea bucket.
Okay.
I'm just using the radio link on the trailer truck.
You have not seen the new radio links. They have Android-like system on their unit, especially the high-end ones. Hey, Corey. That's not
Dumbo
the,
RC.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, that one
download
looks like-
that.
yeah, it looks like it might have a screen at the top, but I could be wrong. But I know I've saw one with a screen.
This is Dumbo RC, the Japanese site. It is in English right now.
So that has the dip switches on it.
Yes.
I read, yeah. That's the new thing for those microcontrollers. They use your dip switches to control your drag brake and stuff like that.
I hear that's a decent thing.
I'll show you the one in a minute. I got.
Hey, Tony Clifton.
Open them up and see.
Did you see what Tony wrote?
No.
How do you make an RC tank laugh tickle its turret?
What's up, Unknown and CK?
How do you
Hey,
make
Eric.
it?
That's the one I
TK.
got right there.
How do you make it? What? How do you make an RC tank laugh?
Tickle its turret.
Do it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I got the one with the blue handle.
The X4 transmitter.
The pretty blue handle.
X4, X6A. How come it's not changing picture though? That's weird. Oh, it's on the bottom. So this is the X6.
Believe it or not, they Radio Link tells you how at least one of my new one does, tells me how much batteries in the batteries, and I can with a receiver. Trust me, and the Radio Links are cheaper and they have better range than a Spectrum.
The receiver does look a lot like the radio link, that's for sure. I don't know if they're
Is that
compatible.
an X6 you said, Tank?
No, you can actually use a Dumbo receiver because it looks exactly the same.
Doesn't say on it.
No, it doesn't
that-
say, but it would be interesting to actually try. I believe I might have a Dumbo.
No,
receiver.
that's not Spectrum for the win. Sorry, Radio Link still wins.
I don't know. It all depends. Then that's what I want to talk about more than anything is why people are using it and so on and what makes you think that's a better receiver and transmitter.
My Radio Link has more features on it, the version 3, and I can hold 30 cars.
I got these. I got this one because you can get 5 channels and it's not really expensive. So
Okay.
it is a little tight on it. Well, I drive like this, so it's a little. The handle is a little.
Yeah, with the gyro
Tight.
inside and the receiver.
Yeah, it's got a gyro in it.
Oh, look at that one. Hey, look, it's green. Did you see that? You like those handles?
I missed
Yes,
it.
the Dumbo has a gyro in them too. You can get a gyro receiver.
Yeah, you got to press a little button inside in the receiver.
Yep, like you do on the Radio Links. They're the same unit.
I'm gonna have to try that. That's for sure.
They're not
Let's
too
see.
bad. Well, I mean, most people drive with their left hand, have it in their left hand. It's pretty it's kind of big, but it's okay.
There's
It's not
another joke from Tony.
Oh, great, a video.
If you put a thumb extension on it, it would steer okay with one hand.
Let's see, which one do you have? Which one were you showing?
I got a Dumbo.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
the radio links do the same thing, and Dumbos have been coming out with a lot of on a lot of ready to runs themselves.
It's pretty
Uh,
hefty.
Bruno says, I like better my FlySky GT5 than my Spectrum Rugged. I've heard a lot of negativity on the Rugged, that's for sure. The FlySky is pretty good. I have
expensive stuff.
programmed a couple of them. They're not bad.
It's not expensive. The GT5 is $60.
Okay.
And look at how much the top of the line radio link goes for that you saw, the ones that come with all the goodies on it. It comes
Well,
in
we're
the box.
We're not comparing top of the line, Brad. This
Well,
is
the
a
Rugged,
$7 radio. Like Corey says he runs a Sandwall. Those have totally different. Which one's
Yes.
that? Okay.
Guess what's in here, Brad?
A receiver.
The
transmitter
radio
receiver?
link transmitter with the touchscreen.
Oh, that new one.
Yes.
Did you get the one with the most options? Did you get the one with the most options?
Well, there's two receivers, a bag, and a LiPo battery.
You should open it up for us, Frank, since we're talking about these transmitters.
We probably will. That's why I have it beside me.
So
Patava's very expensive.
RC
so is
Bass
high
Boy-
tech.
The Dumbos, they're not that expensive.
Yeah. Jem's Hobby wants to say something about the controller.
Oh, sorry, Jim.
well, I was just saying with the GT5, they're cheap. You can put 20 cars on it. I know it's not 30 like yours, Brad. But you can put 20 cars on it, and the functions are very easy with this dial instead of having to touch a screen out in the rain or anything like that. I like how it has the manual type control. I've put this in mud. You can do upgrades on it, like you can run, these are my batteries I run for it.
Yep.
You just have, they come ready to plug the JST in it. Of the ones I've used, like the Spectrums and stuff, I don't like how they fit my hand. You just do your little thumb extender on these and they drive super nice.
Okay.
But I know they don't have all the functions of other radios that are more expensive. My drag car radio is the FlySky, the Noble NB4, not the Pro, just the base level. But like what you just got, Tank, it has more control within your throttle range than the Noble.
Yeah. Well, to me, it all depends. Like somebody just wrote there for a while, a little while ago, Corey, I think it was. Yeah, his 10-year-old Sanwa M8 X has 4-channel, and it's fast. It's the fastest response than anything else.
Mm.
Yes, it is. But the price range and the receivers for them, it's freaking expensive. But if you need the speed, then yes, to me, the Sanwa is one heck of a good radio for racing, for response time, hands down.
Eric,
That's a good radio.
Eric, regardless if I don't have 30 cars built, I do have my first one that Frank got me totally filled with 10 cars, which it only holds 10 cars.
And you get that one filled up?
Yeah, that one's filled up, Frank. The
So now
fighting
you have to
buggies
put the
on
other
that.
one.
Yeah, I think the first one on it might be the Terra Scorcher, or it might be the Wild one on the other one that
Okay.
the Elf got me.
But coming back to the Sanwa, for a crawler, that's overkill. But there is a lot of adjustment on it and things like that. But the technology of today, if you're a drag racer or a street racer or carpet racer, yes, the Sanwa would do it. But if you're a drag racer, having a touchscreen and being able to modify your curve
He's got
the throttle curve and your brake curve. There's so many things you can adjust. That's when a little bit more expensive remote comes, to me, comes into play. It all depends what you do with it.
Yeah, with
Go ahead.
The KO. Don't forget about the company KO Propo, which not
I
many
don't
people
know
know
that
about.
company, and I can't talk about that company because I don't know it. What do? They do
They do all sorts of different styles and programmable transmitters.
never heard of them. What did you want to
like,
say?
yeah, like the Sanwa and now the Radio Link that you have. When you're doing your throttle curve and drag racing, one of the awesome things that you can do with those radios is set up points. So it's going to stay at 30% throttle for 0.1 seconds or 0.3 seconds in a run. And then the next point would be 60% throttle for however long. Like my Fly Sky will do a channel speed and a throttle curve where you can progressively ramp it in, or it slowly accelerates through the speed. So you don't have to try and play, time it with your finger. You just put it in and you delay how fast it comes in. But when you get into those, like you were saying, the Sanwas and now the Radio Link you have, within your throttle curve, you can do points and you can step it up. And a lot of people prefer that. So when you're out at the track, you
Hi,
don't
Eric.
have to dive into your ESC and try and program your stages that way. And not all of them have stages. Like the DRK has stages, the R1 has stages. But when you run into being able to adjust on the fly, like you win your race, you both spin and you got to hot lap it back. You're not going to have time to go sit down, reprogram everything, prep your tires, do all that. You can go into your Sandwall, your Radio Link. I think the Futaba has it too. I'm not 100% on the Futaba. I know the Sandwall and the Radio Link do. And you can just turn your points down. Okay, I'm going to take 5% out of each stage and should be good to go for the next round.
Cool.
So,
What?
You should look up KO Propo and you can get to know it. We can get to know it all together.
Yeah, we might look at it later. But to me, I don't know. It's a company I've never heard of. I'll probably look at it later. But let's see what the people in the chat are saying. Oh yeah, and somebody wrote there for a basher. For bashing and playing, most transmitter are good, but Futaba and Sanwa are needed for racing. No need to spend several times the price for a Fly Sky or a basher. Yeah, but not every transmitter receivers are good because Spectrum actually came out a few years ago with a bunch of ready to run transmitter. They were which model? The SX or whatever. It's not a DX, but it was the S series, which
The
are
SX2.
SX2, yeah, which are RC Basher Boy's all-time favorite transmitter. He really loves to hate those transmitter and receivers, and some people had so many issues with them, especially on the range, and sometimes just breaking. So they're not making a lot of them anymore. Not putting them. It's not a good radio. I think the Spectrum came out. What is it you want to show?
KO Propo is still in business. I saw them at I'm talking to the Basher Boy. They came out. They were in last year's show, so I think they're still around.
So as you're talking with like the SX2, the SX3s, this is the receiver out of my Rift. Every time I started it, I had to rebind it. Every time I powered it on, it would lose bind every time. I tried, just shutting it off and turning it right back on. Bind was gone. I had to redo it. I had to rebind it every time, and I don't know if it was just that radio, but it's the only one that had this receiver. I pulled it out, threw another cheapy one in it. It was fine. I have it on my Fly Sky now, but at the time I just threw another the DX series in it. Worked great.
Right. I got one or two of them. My Rockray, Montet Rockray has one. I don't think I had any issue with the binding or any issues with the remote other than I find, but that's on the throttle curve, and I tried changing it, the throttle or the punch on it to give it more punch. It just doesn't have the punch. The one thing I have left to do is change that transmitter and receiver to actually see if it's the radio that really no good, or is it the ESC that's just not good on there, because it is the stock one. I did find for Brad KO Propo digital proportional system. So it looks like they are still around. And I saw here a little while ago, Next, EX Next. I've seen this on different remote controls a while back.
Servos.
Capacitors, more servos, ESCs, 4S servo.
They have a radio that looks like a PlayStation unit.
Okay.
I don't know if
Now,
you're-
Brad, have you used any of these radios, or you
I just
saw
know-
video?
I know that they were more popular years ago, but since they're obviously still popular, I think in Japan.
So is that a no? You haven't used any?
No, I haven't used any, but it was something that people shouldn't forget about if they're still in business.
Yeah, the screen on top. Sure, show me the logo real close. That's what we want to see.
That's an interesting wheel.
Very low and very close to the back, which is interesting for one-handed.
Good for thumb use.
Throttle. Why is the throttle going sideways?
I also think the steering wheel goes to the left side too for left-handers.
So throttle is you push on it from side to side and not front to back. For this one anyways. Why the heck do they do that? Put a small little tiny friggin' picture like that.
There's a circuit board.
Oh, sure, put the logo real big.
There's a receiver.
I think the circuit board is so you can adapt it to mini Z's.
Yeah. What a stupid thing for the...
The
People who
throttle.
like this, people who like the thumb steer, that's a damn good radio for thumb steering.
You can adjust the tension on it, which is nice, heavy tension or just...
Light tension.
And that's it for the pictures. But this is where it's interesting that the throttle is not back to forward on this. It's
I got a question I have to ask you. real quick.
Fillmore's here.
Would you want a Canadian flag on any of this? On your
No,
Dragon?
no.
Okay.
Look at it, come in different colors. White and black.
It's interesting. There's different parts. I guess you can buy in pieces. There's a throttle, which is normal. This one is not.
That's weird.
It's very... So this is the unit you said, Brad, for the
Yeah. The MXF.
MC8.
Oh, well, there's also the other one. There's another one there too. Oh, look at that. The hardware too. Comes in different colored hardware.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, but I have no idea who distributes that or why I would buy that. If I have no local support, to me, that's not good. So,
Right.
but that's just me. Some people don't care. Let's see what's going on in the chat.
Queenie's here.
I like Spectrum Rugged. I've heard bad thing with the Rugged, especially on the battery life. The DX5 Rugged battery life is supposed to be very bad. You go out on one outing for about 3 or 4 hours and your batteries are dead already.
Damn Nat.
That's one thing I can say about the Noble. It has a battery in the handle, and then the base is another battery.
Yeah.
Like when we were live streaming at Beat the Creek, my phone was dying, and I just plugged into the radio and ran a cord up to it.
So you have the Noble?
Mm-hmm.
And how much is
That's-
it?
I got mine, I think, for $219. I technically have 3, but I burn up the no, I have 2. I burn up the motherboard in my Noble. And I think I had left it on the table for a while and then went up and was drag racing and trying to adjust all my
Hey, Dirk.
channel speed stuff. And then all of a sudden it just shut off.
Wow.
And but the Team Powers, I think they're out of Florida or California. I can't remember which. Team Powers had the parts for it. So it was pretty much plug and play. You split the case, popped it apart, put the motherboard back in it, and I was able to use the computer to set up from my last save on my update on my firmware on it. And I had most of the cars in there.
How many cars does your new system you think holds, Frank?
200.
Is that what it said?
Yeah.
You definitely have that many cars practically.
Yeah.
I did not know it could hold 200. That is amazing. I wonder how many chips are devoted to that memory.
I'm not sure, but RadioLink has a lot of different things. But here's the radio. So if I go to radios, they have a lot of different things. Radios, and I can go to aircraft surface transmitter, because that's what we deal with. They now have the RC8X, which is the one I have, 8-channel. You see, Keith, it is 8-channel, not 6.
But 2's taken, so.
It's still 8-channel. Because if I put this on a tank, you actually need more channels for steering or for the ESC. So it all depends what you use it for. If you use it on a plane also, or on a boat, it's different also. So
600 meters.
All good.
200 model storage, cruise
You
control.
say tomato, I say tomato.
Yeah. Gyro integrated and HV servo supported.
One thing with the one you just got, Frank,
What's that?
is one thing, the one you just got, it has an FPV display. I'd like to see that in use. I haven't seen anyone running that video yet where it's on the controller, your FPV.
Yeah, and I do have a receiver, so I could try it real quick.
Oh, you can only do 85 model memory for battery voltage. That for learning the telemetry from 85 cars.
It's got a
No.
FPV thing on the remote you can look at, or it goes to your, we have to put goggles on.
It has a screen
Telemetry
on
of maximum
80.
8S.
Oh, 8S.
Voltage.
Oh, it looked like a 5 looking on my screen. I'm sorry. It looked like a 5. None of this.
What did you just say, Keith? Sorry, I was.
You have to put goggles on for that to.
This
go
one, no,
through your-
because it actually has a little monitor on this screen.
Oh,
It
okay.
doubles as a monitor.
And that's what you're going to use, aren't you, Frank?
Probably. Go back there. So they do have the RC6GS version 3, which is the 7-channel now.
Mhm.
I don't know why they didn't just call it the RC7 GS instead, but they
Yeah,
just
it
called
didn't make
version 3.
it didn't make sense, but
30 model storage.
Yeah, and what I don't like about it is it's still a 6-channel button. So there's only 6 of the buttons that you can use and not 7 buttons.
Nick has a question. Hey, all, here's a question. Would you use a Dumbro or a Fly Sky transmitter for a aerial RC or water surface RC?
Where is that chat?
I can't comment on the
Water,
Aerial.
yes. Aerial, you're not, theoretically, you're not allowed. For aerial, you have to use a aerial transmitter receiver. There
Of
is
course.
kind of a law onto there.
there's a dedicated frequency.
So far, all the features that Radiolink have make me want to like it, but I need to see it in person and try it.
That is.
I've got 2 radio, like the G6, I got 2 of them, the version 2, and I got a G4 also, which is the 4-channel. And I never had any issues with it. I've set up a whole bunch of Radiolink, and there's only one remote that I had issues with, which is a G6 version 2. For some odd reason, the 3-way switch that's on top, the first one, as soon as I put it on forward, the other switch did not work. It's odd, but as soon as if I leave it in the middle or push it towards me, the other switch works fine. As soon as I activate that other switch forward, my other one does not work, which was mind-boggling me. Why the heck is it doing that? So I thought it was a receiver. So I took another receiver and I put it on that radio and it was still doing the same thing. So then I tried my radio on that receiver that came with it and it was working fine. So it is the radio. It's either has a short in it or there's an issue with that radio. And it was the first time I ever had any problem with the radio link. So out of
Is
the
there
box
any-
instead.
Is there
Mine's
any
fine
channel
too.
mixing in that?
You cannot channel mix the buttons like that. No.
Hmm.
But I did
Operator
check for
error.
channel mixing and there was none.
For me, it's the only problem I've had. Leaving it turned
Tony's
on.
considering. Tony keeps making jokes. Tony keeps making jokes.
Like with my Noble, it only has limited buttons and knobs, of course. And what you run into with crawling is momentary switches to run a winch.
Yep.
So
Hey, James.
you can take a 4-channel receiver, set the radio up for 8 channels, and then do channel mixing to where when you hold the button, it works like a trigger and it will only run high side. And then you hit the other button and it works like a trigger and it'll run low side. So you can still set up a momentary switch on your winch. I can't quote exactly how to do it, but you set your channel 3 and 4 as they follow channel 7 and 8. And then 7 and 8 is 100% to the high side and channel 7 is 100% to the low side. So instead of that being a switch now, it's a momentary switch. It's a cool function, but it's not easy. Whereas your radio link, I'm sure, has momentary switches.
Well,
Oh.
that's, well, go ahead, Brad.
There's something interesting I want to tell you. The first company that made a steering wheel radio was Kyosho in the 70s. The
Okay.
Bell 200, I think it was called. Or the Bell 220.
Hmm.
Isn't that interesting? That thing you could put in the in questions.
In a trivia, yeah.
Yeah. They made their own transmitter, so and they were the first to make the steering wheel one.
I lost my train of thought.
We're talking about the momentary switches on the radio link.
Yes, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. If you're running a winch, it's you need that three-way switch, because a lot of those radios that are 3 channels, they either turn it on or turn it. It's either, sorry, I have to say the right term. It's either high or low, which
Right.
is the voltage, because when you're triggering or when you're turning, you're actually telling your radio to go to a certain position. So it's either minus 120 or plus 120, and 0 is right in the center. So it's either high or low on most of those radios, and you don't have a center. So that kind of puts you out if you're trying to win a winch, because as soon as you hit that button, it comes out, and it keeps coming out until you hit it again, and then it starts coming in. And there's no way to stop it.
With my Fly Sky, this is the one I comp with, since I can
Yeah.
drive with one hand steer. I used the knob and I drew a line exactly where center is. And when I push it away from me, it's out. When I pull it in, and then I can control the speed because the potentiometer controls the voltage. But there was no other way.
That's
Like
correct.
this 3-position switch, it was all or nothing. And all of a sudden you're like trying to slow down to control it. So with this, I can pull it slightly as I'm throttling over something, or I can crank it fast in and out.
Okay, but did it ever happen that you run a different truck with it and that button does something else?
Yes.
And then when you go and run your truck again and you turn it on and you forget about that stupid switch, and all of a sudden the winch starts coming in, but it's already in, and then it just snaps your hook off.
My Class 1 truck, before I just switched the Noble over, it was on or off.
Okay.
And then I had a knob on the side to control the speed. So it was hard to do everything at once.
Yeah.
So that's when I just switched it to the momentary switch, and it's so much better because it's not going to be on unless you're holding it.
Hey, Sean,
What's up, everyone?
Hey, Sean.
Corey, check Joe. It'd be nice to have you in the panel.
Brad, you're like a YouTube pimp. Not everybody to come in the channel.
Well, Corey has been here on a regular basis. He hasn't been recently. I'm just curious.
Tank, I use the dial to control the winch. There is a beep when I get to the center. That's cool. On the radio link also, you do have a dial. You can use the dial for a winch. I use a 3-way switch. I love the fact that there's a 3-way switch, but I got stuck a couple times. Like I snapped the hook off my winch, or it actually ate the hook. Like it went through the thing, and it was binded into the winch, which I had to take the whole bumper off a couple times. So that happened a couple times. So now every time I take that radio and I take that truck, I got to remember to put that switch in the center, or put all the switches to the center, because that 3-way switch, if you lay it down on the shelf or lay it down on the floor, it's going to get hit. It is going to get hit. So having a dial is nice, but having one remote that does multiple cars really screws you up. But I always try, that's what I do, always try to put my winch on all the trucks on the same switch. Like that, it's always going to be that switch is for the winch, or for the 2-speed transmission, or dig. I always try to use the same one now.
Hey, Sean, did you get
Me personally, I like putting the winches on the dial knobs.
Okay.
Because the reason I put them on the dial knob, I can actually control the speed of the winch. With that, because with the 3-way, you have one speed, but with the knob, you can actually tune the speed of the fucking thing as
Yeah, you
well.
turn the speed up faster or slower.
Yeah,
Use
that's why
my-
I like it on the dial, because then you can control the speed of the winch.
I
Yeah,
got-
but you,
What's up, Tony?
go ahead, Keith.
Oh, I got the dowel, I mean, the knob, I got my turn on that, so I can go either way and
turret,
slow
yeah.
or fast, yeah.
But you, Sean, you don't even use a proper remote for driving a car. You use stick radios. You don't even use a
That is
remote.
a proper. Stick remote is a proper remote. These are proper remote. The good thing I actually like with these remotes is there's like a fail safe on them, where if the switches, like if the toggles aren't in the neutral position, the controller will sit in a warning mode and blink until you put every switch before it'll actually activate itself. So every switch has to go into the neutral position before it'll actually arm.
Those remote are so nice and so cool because you can do so many things with them.
Yeah,
You can program a switch, high-low switch, to actually do something. So when it's lower, the buttons do something else now. And when it's on a high position, the buttons do something else also.
yeah.
So go ahead.
Dave. Oh,
No?
they're real nice, Sean, if you can remember, keep them.
That's what I was just about to say. It's remembering all those function that to me is like mind-boggling. Like, okay, which button does what again?
That,
I
yeah,
think
especially
Keith
when
was-
you have- oh,
I
sorry.
was saying, remember to keep it with them.
Right. Don't leave it in
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Yeah, did you get it back from Beat the Creek, your transmitter?
I got posted out the other day, so hopefully it'll be here tomorrow.
Good. Don't have to spend another $100 and do programming that's a nightmare.
I don't mind. I don't mind spending $100 to get the control. It's the program, and it's the nightmare.
That's what I said. The program is
Yeah.
and programming nightmare.
Yeah, it's a pain in the behind in the program.
Now, Tank, one thing you can do with that radio, if you really get into, and I know you don't comp much, but you can program it to where you can set your winch to follow your throttle speed to pull you at the same rate of your throttle.
Now that would be cool. If you use
Or
your
the-
winch and you hit the throttle, it's like a mix, in other words.
Yep,
Yeah.
you mix it so it follows your
And
throttle.
it goes in slowly or fast, depending on the winch you want the winch to do, right?
Yeah, that's a cool feature.
So if you're not pulling on it, the winch doesn't move, you start squeezing the throttle and the winch, you can set it up to pull that same speed.
Or you put it on cruise control. The winch.
That would be very interesting to try to set up, and a very good idea also. So do you know if anybody done a video to explain how to do that, or if they've done that?
I know WTF Cars out of England. He does it for the Noble. He'll tell you how to do it all. And I'm
Okay.
sure it's going to be similar for your channel mixing. You'll just have to make it match your channels. But it's I think it's WTF RC Cars or ARC Cars. He's the one where I figured out how to do the mixing to make my switch a momentary switch by using high side, low side, and all that. So he does a ton of different channel mixing for on road, crawling, whatever you need.
Frank would love to learn all the mixing, right, Frank?
Well, it is kind of cool, but remembering all those things,
Yeah,
there's so many things that remote does. Is I'm not going to use half of them, but there's
Yeah.
so many things it does. And I'm probably not going to use all those features for a while. But coming back to that, there's the RC4 version 3. This is
That's
the
the
one
one I have.
I have two
I have
of
that.
that one, and I
I
have
have
one of that one.
I have the V2 and the V3.
Brad, can you do me a favor? Just can you let Tank finish his sentence before you keep saying I have like I'll finish the sentence. When you
Uh,
go to Tank, go to the stick remote. See that orange one?
Yeah.
That's the one I'm giving away with the record truck, but I'll give radio link reviews. Like I have these remotes. I got the different fly sky one for this, the excavators. I've got
Which remote do you have, Louis? Let me take it off the screen. And which one did you say you have?
the orange and black one that was up there.
Yeah, but you were showing another remote after that.
Oh, this one, this is like
Okay,
the QX or the X7. This is the one for the dozer.
Yep.
But out of all of them, like even out of the fly sky for this, out of my Spectrum, that radio link is the most user friendly one out of every one of them. So it's they make it so simple for programming, for doing like the menus, the channels, the mixing. Like, yeah, that orange one, that's the one I have with my record truck. And every channel on it is filled from that record truck. But it's like, without a shadow of a doubt, out of all my stick radios, I'll definitely buy another one of them, I think. I'm programming those and all for them.
What brand is that orange one?
it's Radio.
Radio Link.
Okay, I thought so. That's cool screen too. It's nice and colorful.
I find it so funny that Radio Link's logo looks a lot like Radio Shack, and you don't
Right.
like Radio Shack. So yeah, there is a lot of different things that you can do with that, and you can put 4 kilometer range. Wow,
2.5 mile range. That's amazing.
that's
That'd
what
be
I
nice
said,
for a car.
4 kilometers.
It is a crazy, like, it is it's by far my favorite stick remote out of all my stick remotes. Like just how the interface is on it, like the interface is so simple to use. The screen is bright, colorful, everything. Like it's even way better than my Spectrum DX7s. It's better than this X7. It's better than the Fly Sky.
4,000 meters.
I have this one here.
The PlayStation controller.
Yeah, and I did try this for controlling 2 different cars with the same remote, and it does work. So I was controlling one car with this for speed and steering, and speed and steering with that one. And let me
Nice.
tell you, when you're not used to it, it's friggin' tough.
Sean does it with easiness.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't easiness when I started. When I started, one truck would go this way, the other truck would go that way. It's like everything, though, the more you practice, the easier it becomes.
The
You made it
app
look
thing
easy.
is kind of cool. The app for this is kind of cool. I did a couple of videos showing it,
No,
but I got to set it up on more cars and do some stuff. It's an interesting remote of what you can actually do with that little joystick remote.
yeah. And that is one cool thing about Fly Sky. Like their receivers will do planes, cars, boats, anything. Like Fly Sky, I can't do that with your regular Fly Sky receiver.
Okay.
And for Spectrum to drive the 2 trucks, I have to use flight receivers. But with Radio Link, you can use any one of the receivers because they're also set for flight, cars, boats, whatever, like, so you can do it with any of them.
Well, that 8 one's good for boat, land, and air.
I don't know if I don't think it's good for air. I don't think you can use
They
this
showed
one for air.
They showed a picture of it running air.
Oh, that little
On the
8
internet.
one, yes,
Sure.
that 8-channel joystick radio, yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good for land or air. Yes, it is an air radio. But not this one. This is for ground.
I'm still
Yeah.
dying to see it.
Sean, it must take a learning curve because I was out crawling with my niece and she had one of my crawl and I'm like, why am I not moving? And I'm giving it the throttle and I look over and my damn car is way the hell over the other way. I think I'm driving the van. It's like, what the hell? So driving 2 cars at the same time.
You should have just let your
It's kind
niece
of a
drive.
learning curve.
I'm not going to show the videos, but
That's a crazy screen on that thing. It's a bit like, it looks a bit like the Noble.
Yeah.
But at least you could use it in VR mode. The screen.
And I like the fact that you can actually take the screws off the other side and this screw on this, the other side, and flip it and have it right-handed or left-handed. That's
So they took that from Noble, the Noble, you can have left
Yeah,
hand.
it flips, yeah.
I'm left-handed.
Jack's
I
there.
drive them upside down.
So this, you take this screw off, and everything comes apart, and you flip the wheel back on this side, and you put this cover back on the other side.
Yeah.
Headphone mode, FPV mode, crossfire function. I have no idea what that is, but I'll look it up.
What the hell is that thing stuck to the front of it?
To the front of it, I don't know. It looks like an antenna.
Almost looks like a camera.
Maybe doing the long range FPV.
Yeah, longer range.
It says up to 64 bits. It's a memory enhancer.
PBS.
Wow. I need one there.
PBS.
I wonder if the
crossfire function.
I wonder if that adds range to it.
It's probably for the signal for the FPV.
Yeah, it's a booster.
Okay.
Can be set as the TBS crossfire function, which greatly increased the remote control distance in high power mode. Cool.
Called you a tosser.
So it's with an antenna booster.
I think Kurt has one of them on his. One of his
Like the
remote.
screen, you can choose the color, which, whatever. But I guess for colorblind people, it's good that you can actually change the color. But
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there.
Look at the side pictures too. They show things on the side of it, unlike the one in the blue and the black. It shows little pictures of the drivetrain of a car and stuff.
yeah, that's in which mode or what are you programming? The curves, you're programming the four-wheel steering. That's probably setting. This is switching cars, and that's to do the memory thing. So
200 memory. I think that's got to be the most in the industry.
so
Jack said it's a Tava 17 cap 36 megahertz, but well over double the distance to that.
oh yeah. Can all sound great. I'm probably going to turn off the sound on it because I don't want my remote to start talking to me.
I know this thing here, you can put in the bottom of it, you can put an SD card and program it. When you turn it on, it'll talk to you and like say whatever you want it to program into it. Like it's like weird.
Set me up, dummy.
See, this is where you use that transmitter to actually connect it into here. So I got to check on my transmitter to see if it's compatible with this. If not, I might have to get a different one, but it would be nice having it on the remote.
Yeah, because at 600 meters, Frank, you're going to have a hard time seeing it. You're like, okay, I see a tiny dot. Now I got to use the visual part of it so I can bring it back here.
Mm-hmm.
How does it hook up to the cars? It must have a camera on it, right?
Yeah, you gotta mount a whole system stuff to them, buddy.
See, this is what I don't get. You get 200 group of model storage. You can have 200 models stored into it, but you only have 16 group of model subsidiary ID storage. Wonder if it's the same ID that I was talking about on the other remote. So you can only have 16 car with different IDs. 8 groups of programming mix. Wow. That's where like there's a lot of friggin' subdirectory and sub menus on this friggin' remote. It's gonna be scary.
Well, you're an IT guy, in a matter of speaking. You should be able to figure it out.
Four-wheel steering is kind of neat. And you can program it for the tank. There's the car. And there's the car, and then you'll see a tank pop up right here. So I am going to try this on my Kyosho Blizzard to see if it's better mixing than the other remote that I have, the RG6.
Go back to that mixing one, go back up one. I wonder if it's that easy to mix that they're showing there. That would be actually cool if it was that easy to mix. Setting some of the mixes can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
That's intimidating, but I would love to have one.
You take it if someone gave it to you.
Yeah.
If somebody bought it to you, you take it. So you can adjust the tension of the spring here, so to make it harder or softer. And looks like you can open it up also. There's a little screw there. You can actually
Tighten it in on your finger or wide.
Yeah.
Oh, for different size fingers?
Yeah. A lanyard.
Oh, did you see what Jack wrote?
No.
He might do you want me to read it?
And you do have a thumb control that comes with it.
Oh, to
Nice.
control the steering.
That's the best part.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, guys.
Did you get this one, Tony?
Hey, Tony, 907, what's up?
No, I have not. I've been talking with them about it.
Waterproof. Yeah, they gave me a discount code to give it a try. If you call them, they'll give you a discount code, or anybody, anyways.
There's tons of features. I've been seeing several people running it. And they've
Yeah.
got some micro-sized receivers for it too.
Yeah, the 3 channels are pretty small, and I've got some in some of my cars, and let me tell you, I like them because they're very small and they work good. Hey, Corey, welcome in, and welcome, Tony.
Hey, Corey.
How you doing?
Hey. So did you get the one with the most features in the box, Frank, or did you get second to the bottom? Second to the top, sorry.
I don't know which you mean. Top model, second model, where
The
did
most
you see all-
expensive, remember when we went through them a while back, not too long ago, we talked about, we showed which one had all the most features that would come within the box.
And that was on not Alibaba, but AliExpress, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. And
No,
they
it's
had,
not. It's not the one with the most thing, because the one with the most things had the FPV and all that. So
oh yeah, because you had, as far as I was concerned, they were different trim levels.
yes, but it's this is from Amazon. So Amazon gives you one choice, not like 10 choices like Alibaba or AliExpress. Let's open this guy up since Brad really wants to show it.
Hey, everybody would like to see it.
I
Tony would like to see it.
I was gonna do an unboxing video, but I guess I won't anymore because Brad really wants to see it, even though we covered it in the pictures.
Yeah, but seeing it in person more in the video would be more impressive.
You want to pop this, Brad?
No, I keep that
Wait,
when I send
Sean,
my
when
bodies
did-
out.
Huh?
When did you get that rig?
The dozer?
Yeah.
I had this at USDE with me, I think.
Oh, I did not see that. Wow. Okay.
So
Nice.
I just working on it there. I just put it back together tonight, and then tomorrow I gotta take this thing apart. Something wrong with the slew motor. I'll put a new motor in it tomorrow.
I thought you just got that so you could make it through Chicago streets.
Yeah.
So spotlight. So it comes in a bag. And the
Wow.
bag is in a bag, the plastic bag. So when you open up the box, it doesn't then come in a box, it comes in a bag.
That's cool. It's got its own carry case
Yeah,
already.
it's a nice carry case, that's for sure. And you got some labels. It's written in Chinese. I can't read Chinese. They do have an English one. One zipper that goes all the way around. You do have a little clip here. Man, this is dark. There, you see better now. So
For
you
the
get
strap.
one
for the
clip here,
shoulder
yeah,
strap,
for the shoulder strap, I guess.
I guess so.
Yeah, clips.
Little handle.
Did I miss what that ran Canadian?
Canadian, it's 450 Canadian.
So it's a little over, it's over $300 US.
US, what would it be US? I know that they had
$4.50. That's for nothing. I'll buy two of them. I guess.
Ali Global, Amazon US. See what it sells as at Amazon US. 319 US.
That's a good price for that radio.
So
And it comes with lots of things to go with it.
are things gonna fall out if I flip it? Yes, they would. So
If the box fits, the box and the radio are in it.
shoulder strap is in this little pouch here. There's a shoulder strap. And then you get your nice little manual. And then you got more foam. So it's kind of a foam on top, and you can see the wheel there. I know that on the different package on AliExpress, you had different wheels that came with it also. So this is like Apple. You know how you actually open them up, and it
No.
kind of very. That's it. Drop it, Frank. Ta-da!
It's like, will it ever go back in that box? So I open the trunk of the car and just throw the controllers in, like, you know. So
Yeah, but I think this one is gonna go back into this thing for the price that this is costing me.
I need to get something like that for the stick controllers. Like I'm sick of breaking toggle switches on them, transporting them.
It's got weight to
All
it.
my airplane transmitters have broken toggle switches on them. Every
Yeah.
one of them.
It's
You need-
crazy, isn't it? Like,
I
you know,
broke one.
Maybe you need to get
Yeah.
metal ones to put in there.
they are all metal.
They're metal.
Oh,
They
wow.
were.
That's amazing. Freaking metal ones.
Is that a lipo tank or is it just AA pack?
No, it's a lipo, 1700 milliamp lipo.
It's actually not bad. It comes with some little lipo.
I wonder how long it'll last on a 1700.
It seems like it lasts a while.
Longer than a 1500.
Well, we know that.
If it's anything like the Fly Sky GT5, it'll eat through it. I don't know what it is with that Fly Sky controller. It eats batteries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The 900s are doing better, but I was running like one of the little RC 4-wheel drive 800s, and it would probably last. I'd charge it every day. Like if we were at Beat the Creek, it'd last the day, and I'd throw it on I just charge them on a SCX 24 charger.
My M12, my Sandwall, I can charge the 2100 milliamp 2-cell lipo, and it will last me about a month before I bother to charge it.
That's really small. That's perfect.
Yeah, this is a four channel, very small 4-channel.
That is tiny, isn't it?
It's pretty small. It's smaller than my fingers. Mind you, I got fat fingers.
I still don't know why they need that wire on them. Like flight receivers do not have that wire, and they're
So-
flying away up in the air. Like,
It's a regular size and a small one. This is 8-channel. This is 4-channel.
Nice.
so it's like if the flight receivers can do away with them wires, how the hell can the ground receivers not do away with them?
They have buttons.
Channel wire, whatever it is.
So where's the power button?
Good evening, Tank.
Hello, Jack.
Back. Where?
So you got one that came, one's a gyro, one isn't.
Where's the power button?
So Tony Clifton, JB / Rich. The comments do get read, so. Not
There's
every
gotta-
comment, but some of them do, so.
There's gotta be power in that battery when they send it to you, so I assume you can turn it on.
Hopefully I connected it right.
Hopefully, Frank.
What's that smell?
Oh my, my radio's burning up.
Let's test that LiPo battery to see if it's.
Kurt said, I have that receiver in my mini T, they work great.
Okay.
Now, don't those work with several different vehicles? Like, don't the
Yep.
Radio Link and Dumbo and a bunch of different things use the same protocol?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah. 50% the battery, so it should be good.
Yeah, you should have plenty of runtime, even at 50% with that, I guess.
so it comes with both of them receivers. Comes with the
Yes.
big receiver and the mini receiver.
The mini receivers are like for what, 18 scale and smaller.
May try to figure out how to turn it on, alright.
Yeah, I'm looking for the power button. I would have thought it was
Talk
this
dirty
one.
to it, Frank.
Guess I'm gonna have to read the manual and see how you turn this on.
Don't do it.
That's
Don't
what
do
she
it.
said.
Uh-oh.
Here's the
You
manual.
lose your man card.
I'm sure it's not down.
That's what
I'm
she
sure it's not-
said. Read the manual.
I'm sure it's not
Hey,
down
Jack.
right where the battery tray was in. Right.
Mate, do you ever read the chat? What are you doing down there?
Yeah, you flog, how do you get
Who's
in?
reading?
Who
Who's
reads
reading
the chat?
Who's
Brad's reading the chat.
I
I
was
was
reading
reading
the
some of the
chat a
chat.
while back.
Yeah, I've been reading the chat.
So you bought that transmitter to do FPV? Is that what you did?
You can do
I-
it right on the radio.
I bought it to play with it and have fun with it. And if it does FPV, it's a bonus, and we probably will do it. But it's
But
probably
didn't you show it's got a transmitter on it? FPV transmitter.
It does not have a transmitter. It has
You got to buy it. Okay.
You got to buy it separately. Yes.
Okay.
Fits in the front of it, front of the nose of it.
Yeah, and then you can actually watch right on the screen the feed.
Yeah, the
but then
screen a lot.
You've got to buy your cameras and stuff.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, your vehicle has to have it already in it.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, yeah.
But don't forget, 5.8 gigahertz is line of sight.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go, what does it do? 600 meters.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to travel 600 meters, you're not going to go around houses and stuff because you're going to lose reception. 5.8 gigahertz does not penetrate,
She said.
right?
True.
900 and over.
Who snuck that in?
That's what she said. Yeah, that's what she said. Who's this Tony Clifton in the chat? I bet you I know. I can give you one guess who it is.
It's either
I know
Rich
who it
Holman, it's Rich Holman or JB. One of
I
those.
don't worry about Rich. Rich is doesn't
No, but
bother me.
that's who Tony Clifton is. It's either Rich or JB.
Oh, I put the connector when I plugged it in, I only have it on the plus. The ground is not. It's actually twisted.
He put it in wrong.
So
That's why I like Sandwall. Sandwall, you can plug it in both directions and it still works.
That's what she said too. Plug it in both connections.
Are you cold over there, Jack, or something? Like,
Mate.
It's winter time.
Fucking freezing here, man.
Like, what's freezing to you? Fucking 60 degrees still does?
Hey, it's 12 degrees now.
What's 12 fucking degrees?
That's in the 40s.
Boot up.
It's in the 40s.
What have you done? Booting it up.
Oh,
You
it's
can't
on.
expecting too much.
So as soon as I let it go, it told me, "Welcome to Radio Link." Little tiny thing. Seems to be pretty nice. Come on. There we
That's
go.
pretty.
Come on, Mr. Clifton, give us some action. I need some action here. What's going on? I'm sick of seeing this bloke here talk all the time.
So Joe said Radio Link.
Man, that's a bright screen.
It is.
You can probably change
So
the.
Dumbo won't work with Radio Link, but Radio Link will work with Dumbo.
I want to try it.
Over
I
and
don't know if
said,
it will. It's got nice red lights on the side. I don't know why, but
What about the red lights? Why has Kurt got a jacket? Why is he blue?
Who?
who?
Kurt's RC. How come he's blue? Why is he a moderator? What
Because
has he
he's
ever
a
done?
moderator. That's why he's blue.
Why is he? What has he done? What a joke! What a joke!
He watched your
This
microwave.
bloke here comes to my lives. I always give him a jacket, you know. Always give him a wrench.
You can probably change them lights on the side tank, no?
Hey Tony, I didn't know you were there, mate. Sorry, mate. I didn't see you there, mate.
It's the only reason you showed up, you flaw.
I've been quiet.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was here. Seriously, I didn't know. And
yeah,
then
yeah.
Brad's reading everyone that comes up. Nothing's changed there, though. Hey, Brad.
Well, at least I'm reading more people than doing other things.
That's all right. That's all right, Kurtz. That's all right. You can be better than me, mate. That's I don't mind that. I don't mind that, Kurt. I don't mind that. You can be. I'll give you that, mate. You can be better than me. I don't really care.
What are them things hanging behind your head, Corey? What's the one all the way up on the left?
That's surround sound like Brad.
Yeah, that thing. What's that?
That one is a Tamiya XR311 chassis.
Oh, it's a race version of their car. It's a race
Brad,
version of the buggy.
Brad just started.
Oh, don't stop, Brad. What are you? Oh man,
Do you have any Tamiyas on the wall?
that's your
Yeah,
fault,
yeah,
Sean.
yeah.
Sean, that's your you flogged.
Yeah, thanks, Sean.
I got lots of Tamiya.
Kurt says it's because he's better than you, Jack. That's why he's got.
I don't care. I don't care what that bloke says, mate. I don't care. I don't care. He's a ghost, mate. I don't care about him,
It's
mate.
getting cold in
asked
Australia,
why
Jack?
earlier.
Yeah,
You
it's
asked
been
why,
freezing here at
and
night,
you
mate.
replied why.
You're getting winter cranky.
What's that? What'd you say?
You're getting winter cranky.
No, not. That's not me being cranky, mate.
Now,
Gotta have
what's
some action up here. It's just boring every time I come to this live.
What's in the box? If it's boring, Jack, get out of here.
Yeah, here we go. There we go. Jack, get out of here.
I
I'll
don't
try to bring.
understand you.
I tried
don't
to bring some.
understand you.
I
You
tried to
always
bring
say-
some.
You always
tried to
come here
bring
and
some
say
life
it's
in here,
boring
mate.
in here, but you
Yeah,
always
but
come
I'm trying to
here.
bring some life into this live. You know what I mean?
What the hell is across the middle of your screen, Jack? What's that say? VCAM or something? What the hell is that?
Oh, it's the software that I'm using.
Oh,
I'm not going to pay for it, so I'll just leave it.
Got a screen.
It's a watermark.
Screen protector for the screen.
Shut up, Kurt.
It'd be awesome if they just put those screen protectors on. I mean, they already put on like that shield that you have to peel off.
yeah. So why not put this
Or
screen?
just put that thing on and do a good job so I
Yeah.
don't jack it up when I put it on.
Well, if you put that on there, it'll probably protect it. It's probably thicker.
So
Not when I put it on, it looks terrible.
To give you a different thumb,
Screen protectors and headlights for Tony.
not a thumb, but it give you a different
I love headlights. They're my
trigger.
I got a
favorite.
question. I got a question for Jem's hobbies up there. How you doing, mate?
All right. What's up,
How you
Jack?
doing, brother? All right, good to see you, mate. I saw
You
you
do
had
it better.
a-
Then you ask them a question.
Sorry,
Nothing.
I saw you had. I saw you had an old transmitter sitting there before.
It's the original out of my Tamiya Highlight.
That's all the hills, mate. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I was stupid when I sold my I was in bits and pieces, my Tamiya Super Champ, which I got in 1982. I had obviously the transmitter and all that. I shouldn't have sold the transmitter because they're a dime a dozen to find those things, and
Right.
collectors buy them. You know.
I always thought it was cool to see the shifter screen on it.
Yeah. Is that 20? Is that 20? Is that 27 megahertz?
Probably
Uh,
old antenna.
72.59.
72. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, good old crystals, mate. Yeah, yeah. 72.
I don't see the thumb thing we saw in the picture. I don't see that. Maybe it's an option.
Now, do you know what's the
Thanks for
funny?
showing that, James. Thanks for showing that.
Oh,
Yeah,
No
do you know what the
problem.
funny thing though? To me, that's still modern technology.
right.
You idiot.
Oh, there it is. No.
Frank's gonna really go to town reading everything he can on it.
Well, you have to if you want to
Yeah.
know, if you want to know how a product work and you don't know. Oh well.
Yeah, especially if you want to figure out all that mixes, working all the mixes. Yeah.
Well, Sean would do the same thing if he had that radio.
No, I wouldn't. When I get a radio, the best way to fucking use the radio is figure it out and go along. Like reading the instructions just makes things even more confusing.
Sometimes it can.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of features on that radio link, so I don't know. You might get lost on some of them.
But you probably won't use half of them that's on it anyway. Especially not if you're only crawling or something where then you're not going to use half the features. Because a lot of them will be set for telemetries and all of that stuff like
Radio,
batteries.
Racing would be better for it, right? To lose all of them.
Racing or flying probably.
That I've got a question for that. Is that transmitter what? Oh, you probably wouldn't know, but if you plug the FPV transmitter into that, do you have options in the actual transmitter, RC transmitter, to change channels?
Now we're all fucking confused. What are you Australians talking
Well, an
about?
FPV transmitter has channels.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, does it actually? Have you got a control to actually change the channels in the actual remote itself?
It showed some of the menu here a little while ago. Hold on.
Or to flip through the channels when you're FPV.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there are certain channels that you put when you're using FPV from your receiver and transmitter. So because you obviously need an FPV receiver. Don't forget that, right? You don't just plug the transmitter in to that. You need a ground station, no matter what, whether you got goggles or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Well, it
need a
showed
receiver.
for this thing. It showed like to the front of it. There's like an antenna thing.
Yeah, that's the transmitter, but you need a receiver for the FPV. How else are you going to run it? So you need to, on the receiver itself, it has buttons where you can change the channels, and then same thing on the FPV transmitter. Now I'm just wondering, can you access all that in the actual RC remote?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Without having to go back near the receiver, can you just do it right there and then?
Yeah, so you can just go right through the see, that's the transmitter there.
So that's a transmitter, and it
Yes.
plugs into here, the video, and there's
Yes.
another cable. It's probably the power cable.
Yes, but it'll also
Parameter
have
setup.
that's got it.
Well, it says parameter setup screen. Oh, this is where you
Okay.
set up your parameters, and this is the FPV screen. But I
Okay,
don't
so the transmitter has its own. They're both. You need to put them on the same channels. That's what I'm getting to here, right?
Yep.
So your ground station receiver and your transmitter, you need to have them on the same channel. But can you access that through the actual remote? That's my question.
I'm sure you probably can
FPVs
today technology.
Oh, I know about it.
FPVs I know run off of the like he said, it's got the ground transmitter and it transmits to somebody else. And then when you have the system for the Hobby Link, does it transmit the signal through the radio, and you get just the radio signal through to the radio, or is there actually broadcasting through a frequency that you can, like you said, pick the channel it's on, or is that just through the radio itself?
No, the antenna this is the antenna of your FPV. The antenna here, or this 8 channel, has nothing to do with the FPV channel. And that's why I don't think you can change any setting. If you need to change setting, you gotta hit the buttons on here or play with the dip switch on here.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's my question, because you got to set up the ground station receiver.
yeah, so I don't
set the
think
channel
that
to that.
once you connect this onto here, these inputs or where it's connecting, I don't think you can control it. No,
You
not
can't.
the way
Yeah.
you were talking.
Okay.
Look at that. It shows the gyro and traction control systems.
Yeah, I'm sure you mess with enough. They're bound to interact. Like, there's bound to be an interface between the two.
There's a shifter also. You see a shifter mode.
No, but I'm sure there's an interface with the two of them will talk to each other that way. Like. The modern technology, you'd think so. It's been a long time since you've done the FPV check, you know? Long you've been since you've done it.
I still know about frequencies and stuff.
No, but I'm saying so long. Like,
Oh, yeah. I gave
Yeah.
that up. I gave that up years ago. Yeah.
yeah, like you were flying the planes fucking a
Yeah,
lot.
done the planes, done the ground as well, and blah blah blah. And
So Tony's still making
I
jokes.
did FPV when hardly anyone was doing FPV back in the day. Wasn't popular.
I remember fucking JD Pascal got into it one time and he
Yeah,
I
he
tried-
did a couple of years ago.
he was buying
I
these
tried-
big fucking antennas like he was gonna send something to the moon, like, you know?
Yeah, but he was watching a lot of Track Salou and all them, you know,
Yeah,
because he built the Tonka. That's why the
yeah.
Summit.
Have
Because the
you- I
Summit,
have
the
not been
Summit
on
was
his-
a great RC to use as for FPV.
Does he still do videos? I haven't been on this channel in a long time. I don't think I've seen any videos.
No, I don't think he's doing much.
Yeah, he
He
jumps
goes with the
around
flow,
different-
mate. He goes with the flow. He sees something popular, he'll go and do it. You know
Yeah,
what I
the
mean?
tanks. The tanks. He's doing tanks now.
Tanks, yeah.
He was doing FPV within the last year.
Oh, yeah.
So Sean,
Yes,
you like radio link controllers.
I do. Yeah. Well, I like their stick controls. The problem I have with Radio Link is they're like freaking tracks. Is they put the turn wheel so far away out in front, it's ridiculous.
Even
Yeah.
with the thumb wheel now?
Yeah. Like even with the thumb wheel, the thing's way up. You have to hold your fingers sideways so that it reaches the thumb without
That's a
putting that
bummer.
stupid throttle thing on it. Yeah.
That's a big bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have
Is
you
that
have
how
a-
this one is, Tank? Can you show us how far it is?
Yeah.
It is pretty far. I can barely reach. I
Yeah.
have big fingers and not
Mittens.
long. But yeah, even on my other one, my other remote.
Yeah, that's the worst thing about the radar. Like the Fly Sky, the GT5, that you don't even need one of them like extender things. Your thumb goes right on it. Like,
Yeah,
So
I definitely like that when cars have that.
yeah,
I bet you they're gonna make a stick radio like you use for your construction stuff, like that one with FPV and all that type of screen on it. I bet you that, Sean.
or what now?
The ones you have with the screen on it, the stick controllers, that they also have a screen.
All of them have a screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I could see them doing similar with the one that Frank got for a stick radio.
Maybe.
Set up the same way.
No.
To me, it's pretty much the same distance as the other one. No, it's a little bit back. Yeah, this one, the new one is a little bit farther back
So it might have a chance of reaching it.
because this one, if I have my finger on the trigger, I cannot reach
Yeah.
the
That's the one thing I
far
get
out.
about Radio Link. Yeah.
This one is not as far out. And this one, when I hold it, well, no, I can't really reach it also, but it's close. It's close, but I don't have long fingers, so.
That's crazy. Like you think nowadays they know everybody wants that ends close, like, you know.
Yeah.
I bet you could buy a longer one to reach your thumb better.
It comes with a thumb extender.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see the thumb extender for this one. I
It
don't
wasn't
have
in
it.
there?
No, it's not in the box. I looked.
I don't like them some extenders though, like. What controller was I using? One of them, there's a Spectrum I was using that had that thing, it's so weird. The one that
I
came-
like the Spectrum one.
I was
The
using
X5
one
rugged?
of- No, the one that came with the freaking SEX 10-3.
Yeah,
This little narrow freaking thing on it, it's weird, like.
The only thing I don't like is I don't have my camera holder anymore. This has nowhere to put the camera, so I'm gonna have to use my clip again, which is okay, but
I thought that it looked like it had one on the picture.
Yeah, in the
No.
picture it looked like it had a thing with bars and a phone sitting right across it or something.
I could have
yeah,
sworn.
on top, it seems like it was something in the front, yeah, but
Yeah, cause I know
I
in the
think there's a
picture
mount
showing,
put
it
on
looked
there,
like, it looked like there was a phone sitting right across the front of it.
Yeah, like a TV antenna.
Yeah.
kind of looks like there's something here, but yeah, I'll look at the pictures again, but no, there's nowhere to actually put.
How you doing, Colonel?
Painting.
Did you finish that lunchbox? Or you
There's the
still
top.
near enough finished there on the top?
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
pretty well done.
The sides and backs are pretty cool.
There's the
So,
top.
so the sides,
Yeah,
Frank's,
that's pretty cool,
Oh,
man.
that is beautiful. That
Yeah.
is beautiful.
Thank you.
let's see the back,
Frank's
Kind of
Frank's
gonna
3D.
use it.
By the looks of it, eh?
show the back doors there, KB.
Oh, back door.
Doors are pretty cool as well. Like,
Wake up, Colonel.
yeah.
And
Frank-
what's the
Frank's
front
never-
that you don't like, or you've been having problem? Where's the front?
I fixed it.
Hey, Colonel, have you tried doing
Okay.
airbrushing?
Nah.
No?
Well, a long time ago, I just didn't have the rights. It didn't work out. So,
he doesn't believe in airbrush or lipo.
Yeah.
But
Still
look how
on-
well he paints inside the lines.
mm,
And he still uses nickel metal batteries.
yeah.
I've painted cars with full-size spray guns. I've painted motorcycles. I've painted my model airplanes. But I can say when it comes to an airbrush, I'm not good. I can just I'm no better with an airbrush than I am with a can of spray paint.
Yeah.
Some
It
people either
depends
got
on
it.
it's about getting the pressure all right with the airbrush, that's the thing, like. It's about getting the right pressure, really.
Port for FPV display holder. So on each side, there's a little rubber thing that you take off, and I guess you can attach something there.
Yeah, cause if you pull down to one of the photos has,
This one here.
there's one of the photos has. Like somebody's cell phone on the front of it. Take on the photos.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. That now I'm on top.
It must be all the way down. There's
Yeah,
definitely
maybe.
one that had a. There you go, no, FPV display. So some way of connecting that to the top, it looks like.
M3, M6 thread rods. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that little thing off and see what this display actually looks like.
See, when you put up the shot where the transmitter's plugged in the side.
Yeah, it plugs into
so
here.
okay, so one is got to be power. What's the other one? This is where I'm saying that it could be in the display inside the RC remote.
Well, you have USB here. That's probably for the USB power, and probably the power there. And then it's got this port here, which is QS. They showed it earlier. Hold on, let me try to get down.
That'll have to do with the actual remote then.
Yeah.
Because the transmitter just needs power. and then to hook up your camera and stuff. That's what you need, right?
Right,
Right, right.
right. Sheila,
So
Sheila.
see the accessory that comes in the box, you don't have the
that is something.
extender,
Hmm.
but let me get over there, Jack, and I can actually show
Yeah,
you.
I'm thinking. Well, one's power for sure. We can eliminate that. There's another one that's plugged in. That's, I reckon, is what goes into the display.
You
It's
reckon?
feeding your information from the transmitter into your RC remote. There's got to be.
Manuals. Let's see what the manual says.
Oh gosh, good luck with that. You just need a blueprint of the actual side of that remote,
Yeah.
so we can actually see what it is.
Well,
Right.
it does say the name of it. Beside it, it did show here it is. Function port, FPV head tracking function, TBS crossfire function, COSC. That's what that
Oh
port is.
no, that's the on-screen display. That's your telemetry. That's OSD. OSD is what that's for. That's what that means. So
OSC, not D. It's an OSC.
sure it's not the D.
No, it's a C.
Well, that's your telemetry for how far you're going and all that sort of stuff. That'll come up on your screen then. That's what that's for. Got a headphone jack?
Hooked up, yeah.
Jack. Where the heck is that? Oh, there it is.
So what's the price of this thing? You bought it. What's the price of it?
$319 US, Canadians 450.
You bought that for 450.
Where is it here? Amazon, Italy, Netherlands, Dutch. Australia's not in there.
Well, it should be because we've got an Amazon store here. Unless they don't sell.
Maybe Radio Link doesn't do Australia. does it? Probably Radio Link just doesn't do Australia.
Maybe.
But here it was 450, but I did get a discount code of 33% from Radio Link.
That's not bad.
Cost me about.
I wouldn't pay. I mean, that's just me, but I wouldn't pay 450 for it. No,
You don't understand.
I wouldn't pay.
Yeah, I would buy a used sandwire for Taba before I bought that.
Exactly. Pataba's the way to go.
Yeah, the only problem with the Tabas though, the fucking receivers are expensive.
Yep.
They're fucking, it's still
Sandwall.
they're crazy price.
Holy shit. that's
Sandwall
manual.
to buy a aftermarket Chinese copy is $60. Anything else is $110 US.
Yeah, the receivers are crazy, man. I
Yeah.
remember I used to run my crawlers on a Fatala, and then the price of the receivers were just like, this is getting ridiculous.
There's your
So-
DSP.
My question, Tank, is why did you buy that? For what reason?
For the mixing and the cool feature. I don't have a very good radio, so I bought
Okay,
it so
fair enough.
I can do the channel mixing. I can run the tanks on it, and I can
Yep.
run my Kyosho Blizzard with it.
Yep.
And see if it's got better mixing than that other one I have.
How many? What's the receiver? How many channels is the receiver?
8.
8 channels, is it?
Yeah.
It's not bad. Well, ground receiver.
With head tracking function. So this is cool. You can do head FPV with the head tracking function using this.
Yeah,
Using
well, that's what I'm saying. That's what that plug is. That plug is your telemetry for a lot of things. It's that's why I asked the question. So now you found what it can do. See?
Input module, multimedia, USB port, pop-up function.
Oh, so you can set, it looks like you can set channel 5, 6, and 7 time or jack, so that might be what you were looking to
Yeah,
see.
it's used for FPV, these channels for head tracking.
Yeah, because it'll come on the display. It'll be when you plug it all up, you got the camera and everything, right? And then you got your, obviously you're going to be using your phone for the feed. You'll have all the telemetry on there, the OSD. That's what will come up. Distance traveled, how fast you're going, all that sort of stuff. That's what an OSD is. That'll come up on the display.
Yeah, and it's to try that FPV stuff. It's to have fun with that radio and try different mixing. That's
Well,
the
if you're gonna do
reason I bought it.
FPV, go out somewhere where it's in the open, no trees, no walls, and then just do line of sight.
Mhm.
And just travel as far as you go. Obviously, it does 600 meters. Now, also, you got to remember what's the power rating on the transmitter. The FPV transmitter. What's the power rating? Does it tell you?
Well,
You got to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
Right. 25 is it?
I don't
Usually,
know.
a small
I don't know
transmitter like that will
FPV.
be 25 watt.
Okay. I have one here and I have a little receiver. I have the little TV receiver.
Yep. You can plug that up. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can use
and-
that. Put on a tripod like I used to do, and but if you got a receiver and all that ready to go, you can put your own camera, whatever you want to do.
But getting that little tiny one they were showing would be kind of cool. So I got to find
Yeah.
the number and try to get that one so I can just tie it
Oh,
up.
I've got plenty here, but shipping going to cost you. I've still got some HD little cameras that I bought for FPV.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you used to put them on the wing of the plane and stuff, didn't you?
No, I used to put them on the top of the nose. You have to because of the weight. You got to count the what do you call it? Center of gravity, COG. You got to count.
I just remember a couple of them, and it looked like the
Yeah,
thing
I
off the
put
wing.
it on the wing a couple of times when I had the little keychain
Yeah,
camera, and I was facing it towards the fuselage when I had the bigger planes. Yes,
yeah.
that's a great view. I had a tail view facing forward and back. I've still got some old videos of that.
I also want to try to use it for on-road racing so I can actually play with my throttle curve. Because if you have a very powerful car and you're going into a curve or you're coming out of the curve, if you hit that throttle too much, you could spin out. But by adjusting your throttle curve, you can master those curves a little bit better, I
But
think.
haven't you got transmitters that do that already? I'm sure you have.
Yeah, but not like in depth of what that one is, because like Jem was saying earlier, you can have throttle curve, you can adjust your
Yeah.
curve,
Yeah.
but in your curve you can actually add points to fine tune your curve just a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good idea then. You can play around with that.
Yep. And if I get a dragster like Jem's got, then
what's
I
going
can
on
have fun with it.
this Tony Clifton down there? What's this? What did the bad talk show host say to the audience? Thanks for joining me on this journey of awkward pauses and cringe-worthy interviews. What the fuck is that about?
He's been saying jokes all night. Like if you
well,
go
it's
up
Not a
there,
fucking joke.
yeah,
if
well,
you-
it's either JB or Rich, it's one of the two. That's their new thing. Like they call us Tony Clifton in the chats.
Oh, that's what he was talking about. Yesterday,
Yeah. So that's what they come into the chats under Tony Clifton.
Well, that's Mr. Google then. The
Uh,
voice. That's the voice doing that. The Google
Yeah.
man.
yeah, so it's
You know, he had to Google what a flog
they wanted everybody in
There's a
their
package out there too.
Tony
He
Clifton.
Googled what a flog was and what a tosser is.
The first one you told tonight was about RC stuff, I think.
It was about a tank.
Yeah.
What's
Anyway.
that RC got there, James?
This is a DR10M that I was running in 13.5. And the 13.5 class has kind of gone away, but we've started a bracket class we have a old movie theater in the mall that's shut down. So we race the hallway between the theaters.
Okay.
We run
Ah.
66 foot. So to bring in the people that don't want to go spend every penny on being the fastest outlaw guy out there, we started doing bracket racing inside while the fast people are racing outside at the 132 foot. So I took my 13.5 bar and just put my wheelie bar on it because you couldn't run a wheelie bar in 13.5.
So
But now,
what's the speed you can do with that thing?
this car, I haven't tested it with the wheelie bar, but this car with the 13.5 R1 motor and a DRK SC, I've been in the 150s, 155, 0.155 and 66 feet at around 50 mile an hour.
That's not bad.
What's funny is I got a stock low C drag truck. I turned up the ESC and it went a 149, as heavy as that thing is.
Oh, yeah.
It's a rear motor. It's not a mid motor. It's the stock plastic wheelie bar that'll flex a little bit. And it's ran 149, 148. It'll run 150s all day. And it just runs great. I'm really impressed with that chassis.
What sort
Now,
of
don't get me wrong.
what sort of wheels? What sort of treads on that? Are they slicks?
So these are the reaction, and I got them on the wide Showtime tires.
Can you put him on the side because I can't see, Tank? Please.
Those are
Take your glasses.
I
the
can't
Pro-
see for shit. Oh, they're
the Pro
slicks.
line. Yeah, they're Pro line reactions, and there's no foam in them.
No.
So, but they're
Do
belted,
you
so they
do
won't
you put any? I did a
prep.
because I've got a few slicks on my tires. I use WD-40 on them.
I use Monster Grip Prep. I'm actually a dealer,
Oh, okay.
so
yeah, he has his own tire prep.
yeah, I use this. It's
Oh,
Monster Grip
okay.
Octane,
Yep.
and there's different levels of it. But like the crawl, you can use on crawlers. Obviously, is what it's made for. But like the stock type cars, I run crawl on it like a stock DR10 because it doesn't hit the tires super hard. So I use it so it's not grabbing too much and slowing the car down.
Now, are those tire prep, are they good for pavement or asphalt racing also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. With Monster Grip, they've tested in all kinds of different temperature ranges. So when you run outside on asphalt and you have 100-degree, 120-degree temps, it will still grab. And the way to make it consistent is you run a tire warmer, or guys are running a heat gun and just rotating the tires to keep it all warmed up. It's kind of like instead of doing a burnout and wearing your tires out, they're heating the tires alternatively.
Now, I wonder how they would work on a stock Tamiya tire or stock Kyosho tire for on-road racing. That would be interesting to try.
So it depends on what you want to do. Like this I have right here is break-in formula. It actually softens your tires.
Oh, yeah.
So you can soften your tires and then put your prep on it. And depending on how level you want to do. And they actually make dirt preps now for oval racing and stuff like that. I haven't tested them, so I can't say how well they do, but I can tell you with the crawl, we've ran really fast times on crawl and then I took a set of these are the knockoffs for the stock Hyraxes. Tried to climb a cardboard at 53 degrees according to, just the iPhone level. And it would make it up and slide down, make it halfway up, slide down. I set it on the bench, put one coat of crawl on it, let it dry, and it climbed all the way to the top.
John should think of using that stuff. He does oval racing.
Yeah, there's all different.
Yeah, go ahead, John. Not
I
John.
was gonna say, there's all different kinds of uses for it, and some people want less bite, so they can pitch a car through a corner.
That's what I was about to say. It's a give and take of how you want your car to handle, because if you have too much grip and you go around a corner, you're just going to end up flipping it and it won't slide around the corner. So it's a give and take of the style of driving you want to do, I guess.
Yeah, they're running into it now, like in Vegas, where they just had the King of Streets and stuff like that. It's getting so sticky with these preps that they're sticking these cars to the track and just melting ESCs.
It's producing that much friction.
Now, King of Streets, is that straight drag racing? I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So it's all no prep, and all that means is you didn't prep the track.
Yeah.
But
You
by the
prep your
time
tires.
they're done running, your shoes are going to stick to the track because there's so much different preps. You know, there's people using straight VHT, like straight drag car stuff. The Monster Grip's all solvent based, and you know, he's taking care of me and he explains his formulas, how to use it, where other people act like it's a secret until you're the inner circle. So that's why I deal with Monster Grip.
I hate to bring the white elephant in the room. Traxxas just came out with a new K5 Blazer with the high rise suspension.
The high lift
Looks great too.
It's a gorgeous
Looks
truck.
really
I'm
good.
I just hated to bring it up because I assume you're still a little sore still about that.
I'm fine. You gotta get over stuff.
Apparently Brad didn't watch your live because we were live on his channel, Tony.
Oh yeah. No, I mean I'm over it. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. So oh, Brad, weren't you mad at Tony since you said he's taking your time slot?
Yeah, yeah.
Tony's been, Tony, I was mad. I was upset that Tony. So he's on later. He's usually on later after I start, but he was on earlier.
So on Tuesday, Tony, Brad was saying that he was upset at you because you're moving on his time zone and you're stealing viewers from him.
Yeah, I was getting too late. I had only changed it back when I was working with the guy on the West Coast, and he said that we could finally switch times back to, so I wouldn't be up until 3 a.m.
Right.
But you've been up at 3 a.m. with us after hours, so I mean.
Yeah, I try not too much anymore.
I always welcome that.
At both ends, man. It's killing me.
So since you're running that comp, Tony, I got a Maz chassis with your wheels and stuff now.
Nice. I need to finish my Maz designs. I have it ready to go.
Show it again.
So this is the Maz design, the
Carolina
Maz
lane
XL.
on it too.
Yeah, it's the cheat code. It sits flat when it's there.
Yeah.
Just
Just
you
when
know
you're
those
holding
double
it.
barrels stick every once in a while.
Now, what double barrels did you do? 48 or 54?
They're old ones, so I think they're the 48s.
48s. That's about what I like.
You like his new turbine rims?
Of course, Tony likes them. They're Tony's rims.
They're Tony's rims.
I said
No,
no,
the
the
turbine.
turbine. The turbine
Naz?
for Naz. Turbine rims.
Oh, the Mazes, yeah, those are sweet too.
Oh, you got the black ones.
Show
Yeah.
that again, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Cool.
Tony,
Yeah.
do you have any of the brass axles?
Yeah, I just got a bunch of new ones in there, way cleaner.
All right, because I'm not sure if you remember seeing this one at the Gauntlet last past year. I got an axle from you.
Okay,
But I
yeah.
want to do this it's right now it's at 568 grams. I'm thinking
Wow.
if I can get your brass axles and then put Mofo's servos and the
Gosh,
servo
his
mount,
servos are insanely heavy.
and I figured I can get this over 1,000 grams. if I put your axles in Mofo's servo and servo mount.
That servo, so heavy.
Oh, yeah?
I guess that
The
helps.
brass servo case on it.
Wow.
I guess it helps
So-
the front end stay down.
Yeah, and I have the new Python in here I'm testing right now. The
How's it
FureTech
working?
Python. It's not the Pro one. It's still a 5 amp BEC in this mini thing.
You got a lot of red going on in there.
Yep. It's all FureTech stuff.
Oh, it's green. That's Keith's favorite.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
my favorite. Green and
Yeah.
white
So-
and black.
We should get a brass winch servo, so I can do the brass winch servo right in the front here too.
Oh my gosh, it'd be so heavy. But that's up high. That's unsprung, or that's sprung weight.
Right.
That'd
Yeah.
be really heavy.
Cause I've already
Dang,
got.
you got a lot going on, man.
So yeah, it's already go. So I just need the brass axles and the brass servos and then I'll be done.
Dang. Yeah, no, I got some, and I kind of let him have it a bit about the last batch that I ordered. Because the first ones I got were great. The second ones were okay. The third batch that I'd ordered I got a lot of people saying that they weren't fitting right, like bearings and all that, or
Yeah.
the drive shafts, because when they bore out the hole, it wouldn't be perfectly straight. And so when you get your bearings in and you try and put your drive shafts into the ring gear or the worm gear, you couldn't get it to line up to get through the bearing because the tube wasn't a straight shot. So, and I probably had 15 of them where people had that issue. Most of them were fine, but that's too high a percentage for me. I have 15 of them like that, but
I guess.
these ones look really clean and good. I spot checked, 30 of them, just holding the bag up, looking at the light, looking through the axle. And the whole finish on it, fit and finish of everything looks better.
Yeah.
So
Corey has an oversized hook. the winch.
Cool. So it's past 11:30. It's almost 11:41.
Wow.
So we're gonna start with Brad to say goodbye.
Thanks for all coming in, and thanks for everybody coming in. And nudity laugh out loud, gone wild. RC gone wild. I think Gilmore says. But thanks everybody. I hope to see you guys Tuesday and next Thursday, and hopefully I will be able to go out and run something because my knee is still hurting.
Well, take it easy.
See you
Corey.
next Tuesday, Brad.
What? What did you say was cheeky?
All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you guys.
hey, Corey.
Bye,
Thanks for
Corey.
watching.
Hey, Corey,
All
you
right,
can
bye.
stay for the after-hour show if you want.
right.
Tony.
Yeah, glad I finally got back on one of these. It's been a while. We have Thursday night comps and then getting back, and my kids getting older. You know how that is, Tank.
Yeah.
So we're all riled up and trying to get everything shut down after getting home at 9:30. So yeah, we got home early today because there wasn't a lot of people, and so good to be back. Awesome show. And I need to go back and watch a little bit of the earlier stuff on that radio link because I'm actually really interested in it. So I'll be watching some
Watch
of that.
out, Tony's going to do FPV. Watch out, it's coming.
Tony's doing that PV.
Now I like FPV like I like my lights on other
That's
people's
right,
cars.
exactly right. Yeah, that's right.
Gems RC.
Thanks for having me, Tank. I'm very interested in seeing what that radio link does too, because I am about full on my Fly Sky with cars. So I was going to think about getting another setup to try out. So thanks for the chat. Looked like we had a good showing tonight. So appreciate it.
Cool, thank you. KBRC 13. Keith.
Thanks for inviting me, Tank, and keep your RC muddies and your hamster smiling. Right, Brad?
The heck?
I'm not going to ask on that one.
Oh, what the heck is that? What's going on there, guy, Colonel?
I don't want to know.
Your hamster's not smiling. You know, what the hell?
I don't know about that, mate.
Sean, go ahead.
Everybody in the chat, thanks for taking the time to stop in with Tank every Thursday night. Tank, I know it's not easy to do it consistently, but you somehow manage it. So Thank you for always doing
Yeah, I've
it.
been wondering that for a few years too. Don't worry about that, mate. Yeah, the guy should retire. That's what I believe.
He's got 20 years to retire.
Yes,
What
thank
a
you,
year.
Tank.
He's
Jack,
in his
go ahead.
50s.
No,
Go
that's
ahead, say
okay.
your goodbyes, Jack.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. And I just come up here to liven things up. Don't take me seriously, huh? Right, Tony? Look at Tony. Look at that. Look at that. See, what do you reckon, Tony? Huh? See, he knows.
I never take you serious.
That's right. Thanks very much. Have a good weekend, everybody. And Tony Clifton, an absolute flog.
Oh, guys, thank you. Sorry I was a little late. My son was playing baseball, and it was a 3/4 of an hour drive to get back here. So,
Dang.
Win, Tank?
oh yeah, we won like 16-2. So
Good.
we did good. So thanks a lot, guys, and go charge up some batteries. Go on there, break something, because if you're not breaking anything, you're not having any fun, right, Tony?
Oh, I love breaking stuff.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Peace out.
Not for me, especially with a bad knee.